There are a lot of modern artists who have never gotten the appreciation they deserve before or after their time. When these people create their masterpieces, others tend to scoff at them, or even ignore that they ever existed. Therefore, their true genius and beauty is never, ever appreciated. And today, I want to help fix that for one such artist. A man whose story is truly inspiring, and someone whose vision is beyond breathtaking. However, it's been labeled as garbage. Let's fix that. This is the story of Squidward Tentacles, and how his masterpiece, Bold and Brash, is actually on par with anything that Leonardo da Vinci ever came up with. First, a little background about Squidward. He was born in Havana, Cuba to Dr. Rodrigo Tentacles and 5th grade teacher Sonia Tentacles. They escaped Cuba at age 3 in order to escape the big turnip famine that was coming. They settled in Wapato Point, Washington, a small town where Squidward eventually got his elementary school education done. However, realizing that the town was too small for any real possibilities in career, Rodrigo Tentacles moved them to the small coastal town of Bikini Bottom. There, Squidward would end up getting a fascination with art because of a girl that he used to date. While the relationship was not meant to last, Squidward's passion for art most certainly was. After years and years of trying to make it into the art scene, no one ever gave him the time of day. Everyone viewed his art as mundane, plain, and boring. Without any source of income in the art world, Squidward was forced to work as a food slave at the local eating establishment, the Krusty Krab. Which, fun fact, used to be called the Krusty King Krab, but had to get renamed because a lot of people found it discriminatory. One day, Squidward was in the forest trying to get a tan when he heard the tortured screaming of a funny little man. He was caught in a bear trap and Squid set him free, and the guy that he rescued was as grateful as can be. See, this man owned the Bikini Bottom Rec Center, and Squidward, as a result of freeing this man, got to teach art there. While teaching this class, Squidward somehow managed to get the word out to renowned art collector and amateur foot model, Monty P. Moneybags. Monty P. Moneybags saw the art piece in question, Bold and Brash, and had the following to say about it.
How about this one? I call it Bold and Brash. More like belongs in the trash. More like belongs in the trash.
Disgusting. Truly despicable. How could he live with himself? Come on, folks. Bold and Brash does not belong in the trash, and I am going to tell you why right here, right now. First off, let's look at Bold and Brash. What does this look like to you? Well, it looks like Squidward, of course, but why would he paint himself like this and call himself Bold and Brash? Have you heard the things that Squidward has gone through? Have you heard his torturous tale? He knows he's bold and brash because if you went through all of that and you didn't survive, there's no way you were bold and brash. Only someone who's bold and brash can survive something like that. Also, you'll notice the color scheme here. It's distinctly green. The artist chose this for a particular reason. See, if you've seen SpongeBob SquarePants, you'll know that people go back and forth as to whether he's blue, blue-green, or green. They can't really decide. However, here, Squidward makes his decision. He's green. But this is not because he views himself this way. This is because society views him this way. He never is referred to himself as green, only other people like SpongeBob or Mr. Krabs. This symbolizes that Squidward is a puppet, a pawn for society. Though he has his own dreams and aspirations, everyone gets to dictate who he is, because the way they see him is the way everyone else ends up seeing him. So by majority, this is who he becomes, even if he doesn't necessarily want to be it himself. This is also why the leg position is the place that it is. It's about Squidward stepping over these assumptions, stepping over these accusations, rising above this adversity to become the man he always wanted to be, a renowned artist who's appreciated for his hard work and dedication. But let's go back to the symbolism of the other people here. Bold and Brash only has one eye. This is a very classic symbolism piece showing that people are half blind. Of course, everyone can see, however, they're missing an eye, meaning that their vision is limited. This signifies that people cannot see the beauty within. Everyone sees things on surface value. Bold and Brash is one of these things. As we saw, Mr. Moneybag said that this belonged in the trash because he only saw it for what he wanted to see it. He couldn't see the beauty within. He couldn't look past the surface level. This is what Bold and Brash is trying to tell us. The green color combined with the single eye shows how limited we are as a species. We tend to assume and judge people before we get the whole story. Heck, sometimes when we get the whole story, we continue to judge people anyways and keep our own view because that's what we're comfortable with. Mr. Tentacle's art really shows us this. It challenges us in our human nature, as flawed and superficial and judgmental as we are. It calls us out. The symbolism doesn't end here, folks. It also shows what this does to Squidward. If you look, part of his hand on one hand and part of his foot on one foot are showing the purple suction cup ends, but the others on the other side are not. This signifies that Squidward himself is torn. He also sees himself as a weak individual, but he also sees himself as an aspiring artist. And as you can see, the one with the purple here is the one that is stepping over, while the other stuff is remaining sedentary. This means that the stuff with the purple on it is the part where Squidward believes he is an artist, where he is someone important, hence the stepping over. He's stepping over those accusations and labels with his good features, leaving the other stuff sedentary, stuck in place, given the fact that this is the mindset of narrow-minded people who are stuck in the past and cannot accept new important change. There's also one last piece of symbolism for Bold and Brash, and that's the shape that it makes. If you remove the bad parts, you know, the parts that symbolize people's regressive view of Squidward's art, you'll see that it forms the shape of a question mark. This signifies that Squidward doesn't really know what the future's gonna bring, because he spent so long being bogged down by these people not understanding him, not appreciating him, not even giving him an ounce of respect. He doesn't know what's going to happen. The future is entirely unknown. It's something completely foreign to him to actually be treated like an actual person. Still, he's going to do it. He needs to do it. And that's what the gold is there. The gold is the future beyond, showing that yes, things are going to be okay. Everyone's going to finally respect him in the end. All he needs to do is step over it. That's all Squidward needs to do. Once he does that, he'll get the respect he deserves. As mentioned earlier though, Mr. Moneybags didn't see eye to eye with Squidward. Him being a single-eyed monster, as represented in Bold and Brash, said it belonged in the trash and that's where it ended up. Bold and Brash did not deserve this. Squidward did not deserve this. Such a passionate, dedicated artist needs more respect than this. Luckily, we have a chance to change this. Not only is Squidward still making art today, but he is running for governor of Washington in the upcoming 2020 election cycle. It's gonna be very brutal though, I'm not gonna lie. He's running against Democrat Oscar Proud and Republican Benedict Uno. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be hard, especially because he's running as an independent candidate. Independent candidates, much like artists, don't get the respect that they deserve. So for all of you who live in Washington State, please give Squidward your vote in 2020. He deserves it. He's fought so hard. He needs a break now. But this is about Bold and Brash. I hope that you can now look at it in a new light and see it for the masterpiece it truly is. This belongs in the Louvre or the Metropolitan Museum of Art or the Smithsonian, not in the dumpsters of Bikini Bottom. Bold and Brash does not belong in the trash. Well, folks, thank you very much for watching. What do you think of Bold and Brash? What's your favorite Squidward Tentacles art piece? Do you think Monty P. Moneybags is a total piece of garbage who belongs in the trash? Comment below and let me know, because I'm always excited to hear what you guys have to say. I don't live in Washington State, so all I can do is support Squidward from afar. But I hope you guys can get out there and make sure Squidward wins. Thank you very much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you guys next time. Stay beautiful.
Hello, French fry.